Hello there, everyone. Today I'm going to tie a pike popper, and this is the punker pop is this fly called, and it's really a cool idea and an awesome pattern. So basically, it's a fairly simple popper, but I've added a sunker strip to the popper head in order to give it kind of like I don't know what that is called in English. But it's a Mohican hairstyle, you could probably call it. Oh well, let's get started. The first thing is, of course, a hook. And I'm going to use the Arix Light Predator in 6.0 because it has the biggest hook gape and a fairly long hook shank, which is ideal for popper flies because you want as much distance from your hook tip to the popper head and as wide a gape as you can possibly get in order to have a better chance of hooking pikes whilst they strike the popper. So basically, we need some bucktail, and the first up is some yellow bucktail, and the color scheme of this is nice for those bright and sunny and warm days where you're fishing pike with poppers, as is mostly the case when you're fishing with poppers. And one of the things about these poppers is you do not want a fly that is too long, because if the fly is too long, then you will have a larger percentage of the strikes that will not result in the fish being hooked. So I use the bucktail here, and I tie it normally because I do not want that the hairs is spreading too much. They spread a bit still, but not as much as if you tied it reverse. And well, basically that's a good option for this fly. So you do not want a fly that is too long, and not too dense, but still you want it to have some bulk and some material. After this, we're going to use some of this yellow fluorescent yellow dyed pearl fluorescent dyed yellow. That's how it is. Ordinary flashaboo. Pretty awesome and cool colors, and all these colors that are dyed on pearl is pretty cool. So I take a small bundle of this and simply tie it here on top of the bucktail, so that the ends of this is a bit longer than the bucktail, and then simply move the thread a bit up the hook shank here, and then reverse the tips. So you tie them in doubly. This makes a more durable and stronger fly, and also gives you a complete use of all the materials. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small amount of Flashaboo Magnum in chartreuse, in grizzly chartreuse, simply because to add a bit of contrast to the rest of this. Not that many strands. You don't need too many of this. This was actually a bit much. Like so. Again, approximately the same length as you did with the yellow flash, like this. And then I'm gonna fold these back again as well, like so. Then I'm going to take a bundle of chartreuse bucktail. Again, make sure that the bucktail you have is a long length. And in my shop, I take great care in selecting the bucktail that I have, so that it's suitable for pike flies, in particular. Because I know it can be quite difficult to get your hands on good quality bucktail. Like that, and as you can see, the yellow and the chartreuse here really suits one another great. And now you have to take a bit care on how far up the hook shank you are, because you have to have room for the popper head, and about half here is ideal. Depending on the popper head size, you can take a look at how far you should go by holding the popper head up to the fly, and this is about where it should be, like so. Then I take some more flash yellow pearl flash, Again, I'm making sure that it's not completely uniform in length. I add this so it's approximately the same length as before. Again, I tie this double. So you can take a smaller bundle and make sure that you get the full use of all your materials. Then to finish this off, I'm going to take a small bundle of Icelandic sheep, and as you can see, the bundles in these packages is fairly large. You get an enormous amount of material, and the quality of this material is very great for pike flies. It gives a nice sort of halo effect to your fly. So I simply cut off a portion of this. The only problem with this is there is a lot of woolly hairs here, and I don't need those, so I simply just pull that out. You can put that off to the side, and it makes some excellent dubbing. So if you want, you can simply pull that off to the side and save it. Then I'm gonna take my brush here, just brush out the Icelandic sheep, like so. Then I'm gonna try to distribute it along my fingers so I get a even amount of this all the way around the fly here, like that. Tie this down, and again this gives a nice halo effect to the fly, and kind of makes the fly really come together and give it the perfect baitfish shape here. I don't need all of this, so I'm going to cut this off, like that. And then there's the finishing touch on this fly. And for the last part of this fly, I'm going to take a grizzly marabou feathers. These are a bit more expensive than ordinary marabou feathers, but the quality here is insane. And as you can see, because of the striation that has been dyed onto this material, it looks a bit raggy and a bit mangled. But as soon as you take your brush to this material, it really all the ends here that has clumped a bit together will really stand out again. And the feather is great for using again now. So that was this one is actually better, bit better. There was a small portion of the feathers there that was cut off a bit short. It was perfectly usable, but for this video I think this one will look better, and for the pictures afterwards as well. So here is the feather, and I tie this down in the tip like so. Then I turn my hackle, and as I turn this hackle, I hold all the fibers, all the fibers of the hackle backwards every single time I turn, so that they are facing the right way and gives the right effect on the fly here. But also, as I turn, I move up quite big spaced turns all along the hook shank, because my popper head is going to make all of this. All of the fibers here come together and force them backwards. So what I'm doing is I go quite a long way up along the hook shank here for every turn, simply in order to make sure that I have a fairly wide tying down points all along the hook shank, to simply make sure that when I glue my popper head to this hook, that it will have something to latch onto, like that. Simply continue up here. I'm going to cut off the feather, but I cut it off so I have something left here to give this bigger, thicker hook shank. Like that. As you can see now, I have a lot of material here and quite a thick, quite a large diameter to ensure that my popper head will stay in place. Okay, off to the final step final steps of this. I'm going to take my popper head. This looks just so goddamn epic. I take my double barrel shotgun, and as you can see, it's a bit it's a bit bigger than what I have room for here, but that's intentional because I'm going to simply force all the material back with the popper head. So I take my dubbing needle. There's a pre-made hole here, but you have to expand that hole in order to be able to get this over the eye of the hook. And simply just, if you have a scissor that has a fairly large diameter, that will work as well. So like this, and then just to see how it fits, I'm gonna do like that. And as you can see, it's a perfect fit. And I have my eye here on the hook is also perfect. So basically that's it. I'm gonna take some super glue, some Sabagap, smear that on there. And then this second time, because you have super glue there, you need to be a bit faster, placing it correctly, like so, and then it will harden nice and fast, and your fly is perfect. You could go with it as is now, but I think it's more fun to add some more some more details. So I'm gonna take a barred sunker strip. This is called Mahi Mahi green over yellow, with black striations, and I'm gonna make my sunker punger wing. And as you can see, in one of the ends, I cut it so it's a tapers, and I'm going to do that exact same thing in the other end. But only the tapering in the front end should not be as big. So basically like this. And as you can see now, it tapers in the other end as well. Then I'm gonna take my popper head and turn it a bit. Take my Sabagap, and then this this groove here on top of the popper head, I'm gonna add some glue. Then I'm gonna take my sunker strip and place it right on that groove, right on the glue. Then with my dubbing needle, I'm gonna press down on this so that it's secure in the super glue, and there you have the punker effect on the fly here. I think that looks very cool. So while that is settling down and the super glue does its magic, I'm gonna add a bit of super glue into the grooves here for the eyes on both sides. Then I'm gonna take these orange and chartreuse eyes and simply just place them in the groove on the other side. And if you really want to make sure these stays in place, you can add a bit of UV glue on top of this. But these grooves protect the eyes fairly nicely. So there you have it. Then the final touch is to take, I have a special tool for this. This is a leg puller for poppers. So it's kind of like a thick needle that has a hole in it. So when I push this through the popper head, it's easy to get my legs pulled back without breaking them. I simply take my lighter and heat this up a bit so it moves easier through the foam. And then when you do this, it's important that you do it at the right angle. So it comes out at the same place on the other side as it is on my side. This looks fairly good. Then I'm gonna take 4 round rubber links. These have been barred orange on one side and barred chartreuse on the other. Put them into the leg puller. Pull all of this through the hole, like so. And then you can simply just split these legs up, or you can leave them as they are now. But I think it looks quite a lot better if you split them up and then make some nuts onto them. This will make them swim perhaps even better. But these will give a cool effect. So simply just split them up as I did there. I can do it on this side as well. And then I simply take the individual leg here, and I just make a fairly simple knot on each of them. And this will make your legs dangle a bit more and stuff like that. But well, basically that's it for the fly design here. As you can see, it's not that difficult a fly to tie, but it really looks awesome, and this is a killer. I don't know if the pike grabs this because they think it's a frog or something like that, a techno frog it would be then. But it's a deadly fly, and what happens is, as you fish this quite a lot, then the sunger strip on top here probably mainly has an effect for your eyes, but it will be chewed off. But that's okay. The fly will fish great without that. But it's just a nice cool gimmick. It looks cool, and I could not resist the urge to try that out. It looks really cool, and well, basically, it's probably the coolness is probably more for our benefit than for the pikes. But yeah, you know, probably a lot of what we do is more for the benefit of us than for the pikes. So there you have it. The Ponger Pop Ponger. I can't recall how I decided that name should be, but yeah. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, remember to subscribe, and as always, you can buy the full material kit for this fly on my fly tying shop. It's flytying.eu, and otherwise have fun fishing, and good luck out there.